Hello everyone. So today we'll discuss about the www and the DNS. So www is World Wide Web, which is also known as web, is a collection of websites or web pages stored in a web server and connected to local computers through the internet. These websites contain text pages, digital images, audios and videos. So, a World Wide Web is a combination of all resources and users on the internet that are using hypertext transfer protocol. So, a World Wide Web is a universe of network accessible information for human knowledge. It is also oftenly confused with the internet. Initially, internet and the web are initially connected, but they are different things. The internet is, as its name implies, a network which is vast and global network that incorporates a multiple of lesser networks. As such, the internet consists of supporting infrastructure and the other technologies. The web is a communication model that through HTTP enables the exchange of information over the internet. The scientist Tim Berners-Lee is the inventor of the web, and the building blocks of the web are the web pages, which are formatted in HTML, hypertext markup language, and they connected by links called hypertext, and the hyperlinks and accessed by HTTP. These links are electronic connections that link related pieces of information so that user can access the desired information quickly. Hypertext offers the advantage to select a word or a phrase from text, and thus to access other pages that provide additional information related to the word or phrase. A web page is a given an online address called a uniform resource locator. A particular collection of web pages that belongs to a specific URL is called web pages, is a website. So World Wide Web is a huge electronic book whose web pages are stored on multiple servers across the world. Now, small websites store all of the web pages on a single server, but big websites and organizations place their web pages on different servers. Now, what is the difference between World Wide Web and the internet? Some people use the term internet and the World Wide Web interchangeably. They think they are the same thing, but it is not. Internet is entirely different from www. It is a worldwide network of devices like computers, laptops, tablets. It enables users to send emails to other users and chat with them online. For example, when you send a message or send a message to someone online, you are using the internet. But if you are opening a website like google.com for information, you are using the World Wide Web, a network of servers over the internet. You request a web page from your computer using a browser. The server sends the page to your browsers, and your computer is called the client, who runs a program and asks the other computer for the information it needs. So World Wide Web is invented in 1989 by Tim Berners-Lee while he was working at CERN. Originally was developed by him to fulfill the need of automated information sharing between scientists across the world. So that was the brief introduction about World Wide Web. Now we have DNS. DNS stands for Domain Name System. DNS is a directory service that provides a mapping between the name of host and the network, its numerical address. DNS is required for the functioning of the internet. Each mode in tree has a domain name, and a full domain name is a sequence of symbols specified by dots. DNS is the internet world is completely based on IP address. To access any website, you need to know its IP address, which is long numeric code, and it is not possible to learn. Here comes the role of DNS. A DNS is an internet service that translates a domain name into the corresponding IP address. Domain name used here is alphabetic and can be easily remembered. For example, www.example.com is a domain name of a site, and with the help of DNS it will get translated into IP address so and so. So remembering the name of alphabetic name of sites is easy rather than their IP address. DNS works with the help of DNS servers. When a user enters the domain name into the web browser, the request goes to the DNS server, and the DNS server determines the IP address using a lookup table. Then it sends the request information to user. Then a DNS system has its own network. If one DNS server does not know how to translate a particular domain name, it will ask another server, then another server, and so on until they find out the correct IP address. A DNS server holds a list of all IP addresses along with its domain names, which can be retrieved when required. DNS server gives a high performance and user interface, and the user interface has to handle the huge number of DNS. DNS is a collection of a list of all the website names. DNS has a distributed database. Additional records are also stored in DNS database. It contains number of record types to facilitate other applications, and DNS server has 3 types. The first has generic domains. It defines the registered host according to their generic behavior. Some examples are given here, like AERO is for airlines and aerospace companies. BIZ is for business or firms. COM is for commercial organizations. EDO for educational institutions. GOV is for government institutions, and MIL is for military groups, and NET is for net support centers. ORG is for non-profit organizations. PRO is professional individual organizations. So domain name has types of domains. So first one was the generic domains. Now we have country domain. The format of country domain is same as generic domain, but it uses the country abbreviations in place of 3-character organizational abbreviations. Now the third one is inverse domain. The inverse domain is used for mapping an address to a name. When the server has received a request from the client, the server contains the files of only authorized clients. To determine whether the client is on authorized list or not, it sends a query to the DNS server and asks for mapping an address to the name. Now we have working of DNS. So DNS is a client server network communication protocol. DNS clients sends a request to the server, while DNS servers sends response to the client according to their search. So the client requests contain a name which is converted into an IP address known as a forward DNS looks up, and while requests contain an IP address which is converted into a name known as reverse DNS lookups. DNS implements a distributed database to store the name of all the hosts available on the network. So this is the working of DNS.